Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a lovely kingdom. In this kingdom, there was a magnificent castle made of bright stones and surrounded by a peaceful river. It was the home of the kindest king and queen who ruled their land with love and care. They were very happy, but they wished for one thing more than anything else: a child of their own. One sunny day, their dream came true. The queen gave birth to a beautiful baby girl with sparkling eyes and the sweetest smile. The king and queen were overjoyed, and they decided to hold a grand celebration to introduce their little princess to the kingdom. They named her Rose, after the prettiest flower in their royal garden. The whole kingdom was excited, and they all prepared gifts and blessings for the little princess. The castle was filled with laughter, music, and joy as people gathered to celebrate the birth of Rose. Even the fairies from the nearby magical forest were invited to the celebration. There were 12 fairies in total, and each one was given a golden plate and a special spot at the table. But the king and queen had made a mistake. They forgot to invite the 13th fairy, who lived alone in a dark and lonely corner of the forest. She was a very old and grumpy fairy who had not been seen for many years, and the people had forgotten all about her. As the celebration was in full swing, the 12 fairies came forward one by one to bestow their magical gifts on the baby princess. The first fairy granted her beauty, the second gave her grace, the third gave her a lovely voice, and so on. Each fairy presented her with a wonderful quality that would make her life perfect. But suddenly, the castle doors burst open with a loud bang, and the 13th fairy appeared in a cloud of dark smoke. She was angry for being left out and decided to take her revenge on the innocent princess. The 13th fairy looked at the baby Rose and waved her crooked wand. "I curse you, Princess Rose," she shouted, her voice filled with anger. "On your 16th birthday, you shall prick your finger on a spinning wheel's spindle and die." With those words, she disappeared into the shadows, leaving everyone in the room shocked and frightened. The king and queen were heartbroken, fearing the terrible fate that awaited their beloved daughter. But then, the 12th fairy, who had not yet given her gift, stepped forward. She was wise and gentle, and she wanted to do her best to help the poor princess. She could not undo the curse entirely, but she could soften it. "I cannot break the curse completely," the 12th fairy said softly, "but I can change it. Instead of dying, dear Rose will fall into a deep sleep, a sleep that will last 100 years. And after those 100 years, a brave and loving prince will come and wake her up with a kiss." The king and queen were grateful for the 12th fairy's kindness, but they wanted to make sure that their daughter would never come across a spinning wheel. So they ordered all the spinning wheels in the kingdom to be found and destroyed, hoping to save their precious child from her fate. The years went by, and Princess Rose grew up to be as beautiful, kind, and loving as the fairies had promised. Everyone in the kingdom adored her, and her parents loved her more than anything else in the world. Finally, her 16th birthday arrived. The kingdom was filled with happiness and excitement, but the king and queen were still worried about the curse. They made sure that every spinning wheel had been destroyed and that there was no trace of them left in the entire kingdom. However, unknown to them, there was one last spinning wheel hidden in a dusty attic in the highest tower of the castle. It had been forgotten for many years and was covered in cobwebs. On her 16th birthday, Princess Rose was exploring the castle as she loved to do. She climbed up the winding stairs and found herself in the old, dusty attic. There, she saw the mysterious spinning wheel with its shining spindle. Curiosity took over, and she reached out to touch the spindle, not knowing the danger it posed. As soon as her finger touched the sharp point, she felt a sharp pain, and the curse came true. Princess Rose fell into a deep, deep sleep right there in the attic. The 12th fairy, who had been watching over the princess from afar, felt her heart break when the curse took effect. She knew that the king, queen, and all the people in the kingdom would be devastated to find their beloved princess asleep for 100 years. so the fairy decided to cast another spell. She waved her wand and made everyone in the castle fall asleep as well, so they would not have to live through the 100 years without their princess. The entire castle, including the king and queen, fell into a deep slumber, and the kingdom became quiet and still. As the years went by, the enchanted forest surrounding the castle grew thick and dense, hiding the once magnificent home from the outside world. 100 years passed, and the story of the Sleeping Beauty became a legend that was told in whispers throughout the land. One day, a young prince from a neighboring kingdom heard the story of the beautiful princess sleeping in the hidden castle. He was brave and kind-hearted, and he decided that he would find the castle and wake the princess with a kiss. The prince traveled through the thick forest, fighting his way through the thorny vines and brambles that covered the ground. Finally, he reached the edge of the forest, and there, hidden by the trees, was the forgotten castle. He entered the castle, finding everyone inside fast asleep. He made his way to the tower where Princess Rose lay, still as beautiful as ever, even after 100 years. Her cheeks were rosy, and her hair had grown long, spreading around her like a golden river. The prince leaned in and gently kissed her on the lips. As soon as he did, the spell was broken, and the princess opened her eyes, awakening from her century-long slumber. The moment she woke up, everyone else in the castle awoke too, including the king and queen, who were overjoyed to see their daughter safe and sound. The enchanted forest surrounding the castle slowly began to shrink, making way for sunshine and life. The entire kingdom rejoiced as the story of the Sleeping Beauty and her brave prince spread far and wide. Soon after, the prince asked for Princess Rose's hand in marriage. She happily agreed, knowing that he was the one who had saved her from the terrible curse. They had a grand wedding, and the people of the kingdom celebrated the love between the prince and Princess Rose. The prince and princess ruled the kingdom with kindness and love, just as her parents had done before them. They had many happy adventures together, and their love for each other grew stronger every day. From that day on, the story of Sleeping Beauty was told and retold for generations to come. It became a tale of true love, bravery, and the magic of a single kiss, teaching everyone that even in the darkest of times, love and goodness can always triumph in the end. And that, dear child, is the end of our tale. Good night, little one. May you have sweet dreams and wake up to a beautiful new day filled with kindness and love.